All right, cool. We could do better than that. Come on, man. We're in the building. Lounge Academics. We are here as usual. Okay. So welcome to our next episode. If you already haven't done so, make sure you hit the notification bell to be informed of the next episode. And of course, hit the subscription number or the button even better so you can subscribe and get updates on future shows. So, okay, our theme has all been about coaching, motivational speaking. We've been talking to a number of people for our last few episodes now about what it means to motivate people, what it means to facilitate and make an impact on people's lives and stuff. And we are continuing with that theme today. To inspire. So what I'm going to do is, the coup. I usually do the bio and the intro. So for our speaker today, he goes by the name of Samuel Speaks, or better known as Speaks. He's been a public speaker for 4 years. During this period of time, he's impacted the lives of many worldwide. His journey has taken him on amazing ups, but it's also had its fair share of downs. His social media has grown over the years, and his live conferences have sold out consistently. You hear that? Consistently, What? That means he sustains power. You understand? Right. That's right. He continues to spread the message, your time is now. And his summer conference is set to continue to changing lives. Amazing. People, make up some noise. It Speaks. Samuel Speaks in the building. Yes. It's good to have you, bro. It's good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Nah, it's great, man. And after that empowering super intro.
It's pressure.
No pressure. You come to motivate. You're a motivational speaker. There ain't no pressure. We just do what you're born to do, man.
For real.
You know what though? But I really like. Something that I really like is I love the share of the downs alongside the ups and how you've done that in your bio still.
I think it's people forget that. I think everyone focuses on the finished product, but I'm not even a finished product, but I mean in terms of getting to where I am now. There's so many downs, and I think when people focus so much on the great, you kind of forget that, in fact, this is easy, I can do this, when really there are some things inside of what I've done to get to where I am that you have to know first before you can just feel like it's an easy road, because it's not, it's tough.
And would you say, is that in terms of your motivational speaking, or is that in life in general when you say...
Yeah, it's a bit of both, to be fair. I had some health issues that held me back a little bit when I was starting out, which I'm sure we'll go into.
Sure.
And then just the industry itself. There's so many different doors you knock. I think it's like with anything. There's so many doors you knock, but there's only a few that are going to open, which means if the others aren't open, they're closed. So it's overcoming those closed doors and trying to move on through it.
Okay. So, I mean, usually a standard theme in terms of our questions that we ask our guests is, what is kind of like the story behind your brand? Because I know you have a brand, but what has led you up to Speaks, to Samuel Speaks?
Yeah, so it's crazy. So when I was younger, actually in school, I was very good at music and drama.
Okay.
I was the worst at everything else, but I was very good at music and drama. So I really wanted to get involved in performing arts. But my school that I went to, my college, they didn't really specialise in it. And I didn't, in my family, I was kind of like the guinea pig, because my sisters were younger than me and my brother, he's 13 years older than me. So the schooling system, my parents, I was like the guinea pig for everyone else coming through. So we didn't really know where I should go. So I ended up just kind of, literally, they used me as the guinea pig. And so it ended up I didn't have a path to get into it. So because of that, I just left and went into work. I went into work and ended up being an estate agent, done really well there. But it took majority of my life, like my early 20s, I lived being an estate agent. So I didn't really get to experience life, and there was loads of things that I missed.
That's tough as well. Estate, that's hard, man. The targets, commit, all of that is...
Yeah, and all of that plays a part in, especially when I was between 20 to 24, during that period of time, it was a very stressful time. And there were amazing times, definitely, when the money's coming in, but like you said, the targets and the figures and stuff like that at the end of the day is the behind the scenes stuff. That really
no, a lot of people that have done, it's worked in the States and stuff, so
So I left there, and I ended up getting a job at the O2 Arena, because obviously I wanted to kind of somehow figure out how to get back into performing arts. And then crazy story. When I was growing up, one of my closest friends, his name was Jonathan, but we call him Ginger.
Okay.
And he was
just of interest. Why? Why Ginger?
He's got traits of ginger hair.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
I was just curious about that.
So we called him Ginger, and he used to be. So he was a drummer coming up. That's what he wanted to do, and he stuck at doing that. And it got to the point where he actually ended up drumming for Jessie J.
Okay.
Yeah, and Jessie J ended up performing at the O2 one day. And I never forget, I saw him in the daytime and I was just like, yeah man, do your thing tonight, blah 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 blah. And I remember I was backstage doing an escort, and we dropped off the guests to where they were going, and someone there was loads of screaming coming from the arena. So I was like, what the hell's going on? So I walked back into the arena and I stood at the back of the bar and looked forward, and it was literally him doing a little drum solo on the drums. And I stood at the back, and not that I was disappointed in myself, but I was a little frustrated that I kind of left the dream to chase the money, and Ginger, he stuck to his goal, he stuck to his dream, he got to where he wanted to get to, and for me it was like, okay, cool, do you know what, I need to get back on track.
It's like a reminder.
It was a big it was the first bell of this, you need to get your head back in the game. So I went home that night, brainstormed all the things that I knew I was good at. And then I came up with speaking. I was like, what the hell? Like, what am I going to speak about? So I started thinking about all the things that I went through leading up to that moment. And then I came up with the acronym called MIND. And that was it. I bought my first camera, it cost me £80. Couldn't afford the tripod, so I used a bookshelf.
I hear that.
And I started. That was it. That was the beginning of Samuel Speaks.
So you started to record yourself in a way, like doing your motivational talks. So you were speaking to camera, basically.
Yeah, basically just me pressing stop start. Those days it probably would take me maybe 300 takes to get a 3-minute video. But that was just the start. That was the start of things. But that's how the dream came about.
Okay.
But originally I actually went by my name. I just called myself Samuel Carr originally, but I didn't really like it. It didn't really have a twang to it. It didn't really sound magnificent. So I said, you know what, let's try and figure something out. And Samuel Speaks came accidentally by using a Twitter name.
Okay.
I was just writing things in. I was like, yeah, Samuel Speaks, that works. Let's run with it. So that's how we are where we are.
And that's what you rolled with. Okay, so you kind of spoke about normally. I know you said at the beginning of the journey, there's been some kind of challenges. There's been some kind of downs.
Yeah.
So what's been some of the kind of obstacles or challenges to kind of get to?
So the first biggest one was I never forget. I done a little my Mind series that I had, which basically Mind. It was an acronym for Mentor, Information, Network, and Determination. That's what it stood for.
So Mentor, Information, Network, and Determination.
Yeah. So I done a video. Basically, what I was doing was I was dropping one video a week, so I did that, and then a radio station asked me to come in to do the series for them during their adverts. So I had to break it down into like where my talks were like 3 to 4 minutes. Now I had to kind of make it like 20 to 30 seconds.
Okay.
So I remember doing that and super excited. Everyone loved it on the radio, but when I went back and I was like, yeah, I'm ready to do the second part, the girl that had invited me in, she was just like, oh, do you know what, the bosses above, they weren't feeling it, so they don't want a second part. So I remember leaving, then I was like, wow, am I whack? I'm thinking, am I actually
what was it that you were speaking about? What was?
So it was literally the Mentor, Information, Network, Determination.
Yeah.
It literally was that, but she just said that they felt like they could probably get better. Those were her words. So I was like, cool.
So what you asking, like, what is that though? What to break that
Oh,
down
okay,
further?
cool.
What would be like in?
So for me, it was what things impacted my mind, like what things impacted my mind for me to achieve the stuff that I have today. And it was having a mentor. It was feeding my mind with the correct information. It was having the correct network around me, and it was always being determined. So those were that was the MIND acronym. Okay. So that's what I was talking about.
Okay,
on
great.
this thing.
Okay.
And I never forget, I went home and I was just like, wow, maybe I'm whack. Like maybe I'm not even. And I was like, nah, pick yourself up. Like just keep going, keep going, keep grinding. And I think it was maybe about a year and a half later, they actually wanted me to come back to do something, but they missed out because I had already promised to do a series, that specific series, for another radio station. So. I guess in the long run that was their run, but for me it was just a wake up to say like, this ain't gonna be easy. Like you may think you're the best, but there's gonna be people that ain't gonna like you. So you just gonna have to keep rocking on when that comes.
In those moments, in those moments of, and if you permit us to, like in those moments of you kind of like, because I could imagine that must have been like you said, you went away feeling like, I'm less than, I feel whack. Do you understand?
100%.
What how does one transition from, wow, someone's ultimately rejected me and what I've offered to the world, right? How do you move from that to say, actually, I'm going to continue with this? What, you know, in those moments, what's going on through your head? What's going on?
So a lot of people, they dress it up and they make it seem like you just can't, this superhero moment happens. But for me, there weren't no superhero moments. It was real life. It was going through the emotions of, right, maybe I'm whack, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, maybe I should just leave it alone. But do you know what? I remembered why I started doing it. I was saying to I remember seeing remember I said I'd done a brainstorm when after that night I saw Ginger on stage. So I saw that brainstorm and I just went back to all the different things. And I was like, nah, you are good at this. You just need to work on your craft. Like they're saying it was whack, but then they may not be saying you're whack. They're just saying what you came with wasn't really what they were looking for. So that made me go away and master my craft. But at that moment in time, I literally felt I felt this big. I felt small. And to get yourself from that is one, believing in yourself, and then the other thing is just realizing that there's going to be people that are going to say no, and you just have to. You're probably going to get more no's along your journey than yeses.
Real talk.
So you got to kind of keep encouraging yourself and speak it into existence and just keep working towards it. 100%.
Because it's something we see, and I'm glad that you say that, because I think you're right. A lot of people will kind of push that to the side, that aspect of their journey, whether it's been a motivational speaker, an actor, whatever it is they're pursuing. You find that they all would just focus on the successes and the achievement and where they're at now, and you don't really hear people speak that authentically or that openly and being honest about
Which through social media, everyone starts to think, everything's all high.
And it's not. It's really
you just get to the top just like that. There's no work. It just happens overnight. It doesn't.
Definitely not.
And was there any feedback, you know, because I know you said your interpretation of what they said was I'm whack, what was actually said?
It was more so we probably could get someone better. It was a lot of those. The words were we probably could get someone better. Those were the words. So
obviously it would make you feel you're not good
enough.
So
you're gonna feel like you're not good enough. But then when I really thought about it, I was like, nah, maybe you just need to work harder on your craft. So that's what I did. I just worked hard on my craft. I don't know if you've ever seen my stuff, but when I'm working on my material, I actually go to a field. It's actually a cemetery, and I actually just talk to the gravestones. Like that was how I mastered my craft. I actually literally went to a park and I spoke to myself or to the people in the cemetery. Literally that. And I just kept doing.
Just out of interest, why? I mean, there could have been other places, but why?
You know what it is?
Why cemetery?
It's because it was actually accidental. It just happens to be that this massive field is surrounded by a cemetery.
Okay.
And every time you talk, wherever I talk, whenever I start moving around and looking, I end up seeing like gravestones. So for me, it was cool, and they're the best audience anyway because they're listening and they're
they're running. You got a captive audience.
And you know what? It is the most peacefulest place to be.
Yeah, definitely.
It is really peaceful in the cemetery.
Definitely.
Funny enough.
It's interesting because that's the first time, and it's cool. It is what it is. But I mean, it's just the first time that I've heard in terms of a cemetery, and I just interested to know, because other people have their ways of going out and finding their spaces. But it's interesting to
cemetery.
To go and to be outdoors as well. To do that, there's something about that.
I think for me, the being outdoors is because I am so. When I get into my zone, I'm quite loud. So to do it inside is a bit too much. I kind of need the space, the air, breathing in that fresh air, and just rocking with it. Outside is just my thing. It just works for me.
So is the whole speaking thing a way of kind of, because like you said before, your passion was for performing arts, drama, acting, that kind of thing. Is that something you still wish to pursue, or is this your performing arts in speaking?
I believe this is the performing arts. Yeah, I believe that everything I learned within drama and music has helped me. It's molded little parts of what I am today. Because in terms of being able to speak in front of an audience, that was because of drama. Being able to find a word, go to a dictionary, break that word down, that was from drama. So all little things like that literally stemmed from the performing arts thing from coming up. So for me, it definitely played an important part of where I am today. So I mean, I still do have creative ideas when it comes to like dramas and stuff like that, and I'd love to get into that. But right now, I want to continue mastering this, and then when we get to that stage where we're good, then I'll start branching out. For sure.
Because I've definitely, I mean, I know we've both seen Speaks' content, and from what I'm seeing, it's definitely in terms of your videos and stuff. It's definitely there's a spoken word-esque type of flow to what you do, which is just cool, man. It's just, and I just wondered, you know, obviously that's intentional. I just wondered what the thinking was behind that in terms of your creativity and stuff.
So all my content comes from like my new Monday videos, which Samson, my guy, he actually is the person that does the filming.
Yo, really cool.
The how I get my content is from life scenarios that occur during my week. So the videos come out on a Monday, and normally something's happened the week before that I've connected to the Monday to come. For, like, prime example is, I remember I was one of the first ones I've done was at a train station. And you know when you're underground and everyone's in their queue waiting?
Yeah.
Just as the doors were closing, this guy runs from the back, jumps into the train, and the door's closed. And it looked like, in his face, it looked like he wanted to say sorry. And obviously everyone's cussing because he's run down through the middle. And what I came from that was, there's people who need to get to work and there's people who want to get to work. And that brought need versus want. So it's all well and good wanting something, but when you need something, like I want to breathe, but realistically I actually need to breathe. And when you need something, it's a totally different run, a totally different energy that you put into it. And yeah, so daily scenarios occur, and somehow it's weird. I just link it to something that comes up. So I'll literally I'll write it quickly in my phone. Like I might write man runs through queue at train station, need want, and then I'll go away and then I'll just work on that. So that's how they come.
And that's obviously very observational. That's also, and that feeds the content which you build on as part of your pieces and your videos 100%. And stuff that you release. 100%. Yeah, cool.
Because I saw a little short video that you done on YouTube, and you was talking about the Grenfell Tower. You was talking about the community-based stuff. So, what impact did that have on you with the Grenfell Tower and stuff? Because I know you spoke quite a bit about it.
So that video, I remember that was Unstoppable 2, I think. Yeah, Unstoppable 2. So Unstoppable 1 came out, that was cool. And I was under pressure from the guys. They was like, yo, Unstoppable 2 needs to come. So I was just like, yeah, cool. And literally during that week of that conversation, I kept seeing things about gun and knife crime and things like that. And then Grenfell happened. And it was like, okay, cool. What I need to talk about is my community and how I feel about it. And that's how that video came. It literally was from within. And it was actually an emotional time because I recorded in the studio. So what has to happen is, luckily for me, my studio guy Dre, if I phone him and say I need to come down, normally it's that same day I can. If not, it's the next day. So I've still got the emotion, it's still raw. So I was able to go down, record it, and then the filming, obviously, as I'm watching the images, it brings back everything. So the emotions came back as well. So yeah, for me, I felt like a lot of people wanted to say things, but they didn't really. I know a lot of music artists came out with different things, Grenfell and stuff, but not many people spoke up about how annoyed they actually were, or put it. I guess there was a lot of people that did, but put it into a channel where everyone can see it visually. And I guess that links back to the performing arts question. That's how those videos come about. It's like thinking of a vision and putting it together with the voiceover.
Do you see yourself as very much a voice for the people?
A lot of people ask me that question, and if I'm honest, to a certain extent, yes. I kind of see myself as a voice of anyone who's trying to achieve something. So anyone that's along a path, along a journey, that's trying to achieve something, those are the people that I'm really there for. I wouldn't say like I'm a Malcolm X or a Martin Luther King, but I definitely have similarities in terms of like the messages and what I'm trying to put across. So like I may not necessarily be the man that leads a march or something like that, but I'd definitely be a man who would be in that march and have something to say, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. And why is that? Did you have anybody to push you? Did you have anyone to encourage you growing up as well?
Do you know what? So I still go to church, but in church, the old one that I used to go to, there was a lot of people who used to say things to me like without knowing what I was doing. So I remember one woman, she came over from the States and she was just like, look, you need to start focusing more on using like you're using your charm in a negative way. You need to use your charm more positively and start influencing people better. And so little things like that occurred throughout my life, and it was just always constant reminders. Whenever I was slipping away, there was always a reminder of, do you know what, I need to get back on. So
when you say slipping away, what is that slipping away like?
So for me, I wasn't consistent when I started.
Okay.
When I started out, I dropped a few videos and stuff like that. Had a few comments, had people liking and things like that. But I kind of then slipped back into the whole, oh well, bills have got to be paid. Do you know what I mean? This has got to happen. Well, not many people are phoning. No one's calling in and booking me. I didn't really have the mindset in the beginning of, well, if no one's calling me, let me do my own stuff.
Yeah.
It was more of, I need people to call me. I need to get on this. I need someone to ask me to do this. Whereas now it's totally different mindset. Like anything I want, I'll do it. And if no one's gonna give it to me, I'll go get it myself. I'll create it myself. That's where I'm at now.
Cool.
I hear that, and these moments of kind of knockbacks and stuff, because I'm getting the sense that that's still pretty much even where you are now. I know there's been a journey, because from your videos you talk about getting to Jamaica to speak. You talk about winning awards and being acknowledged and being nominated for numerous awards as well as part of that journey. But kind of sticking with kind of the obstacles that you have to navigate and stuff as part of that journey. What are some of those obstacles even now? I know you talked about it earlier starting, but
one of the biggest ones that hit me in 2016, I believe it was I went to Miami. So I took a holiday with one of my friends. We went to Miami, and during that trip, I was having loads of lower back pains. And obviously, I'm in Miami. I'm partying, having a drink, clubbing, and I don't want to ruin my holiday. So I said to my friend. No, my friend said to me. He said, "Oh, look, I've got a tablet called naproxen. It's like a painkiller, but it's a lot stronger." So I said, "You know what? I said, you know what? Let's go for it." So I remember taking 2 that night, but we went out. So we went out clubbing. Obviously, I'm drinking alcohol for breakfast, alcohol for lunch. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, during the holiday, like the last 2 days, I started to feel a little faint, but nothing major. I just thought it was because it's hot. I've been drinking. I ain't been sleeping. So I ended up getting back to the UK. This was when I was an estate agent. So I ended up getting back to the UK. In my office, I was feeling like very faint again. Like it was coming back. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. But I thought, you know what? Because I had just got back. And I'm very competitive, so I was like, you know what, I need to get back in there, let me just get some clients. So I booked a client that night to come and view something, and it's probably about 7 o'clock in the evening. I meet my client. Just before my client comes, I feel the dizziness again, so I go inside, I get some water, I come back outside and my client's there, and literally I just wake up with blood streaming down my face. There's about 30 people around me, police. And basically I had collapsed. I just blacked out. In
the office? Or
no, this was outside on main road. This is like,
wow.
Like, you know the main road that you guys have out there? This is the main road, outside the bus stop where the apartment was. So long story short, what ended up happening was I went into hospital and found out that the tablets had dissolved a little hole in my stomach, which caused me to be internally bleeding. But I didn't know. So basically I had lost like 2 or 2.5 litres of blood.
Wow.
But I had no idea. Yeah, so I ended up going into hospital, had a few endoscopies, like where they put the camera
to check what's going on.
They repaired that, and then that held me back the biggest, because that was before I was just about to drop my first ever CD. I say CD because that was ages ago, but that was when I was about to drop my first ever like motivational one. So that was a knockback, and because I was in hospital, getting back into the swing of things was a little tough, because now I was just like, do you know, I need to live life to the fullest. I need to just be out there, just doing my thing or whatnot. Anyway, 2 years after, so 2018, this is last Christmas, 3 days before Christmas, having the back pains again, and I ended up taking a tablet, ibuprofen, like we all know, and the exact same thing happened. So I basically found out I'm allergic to that family tack. And same thing happened. So 3 days before Christmas, I'm in hospital, and I'm like, I'm praying that I'm not gonna have to stay in. Luckily, I got let out. I think maybe 2 days or a day before, and that for me was another. Both those moments, it was me by myself in a room, and it was just me with my thoughts. So it was like, can I really just keep continuing this path of speaking or whatnot, or should I just kind of live life to the fullest, because at any moment anything can happen. And I chose to keep speaking, because at the end of the day, if I go out there, no matter whether I go out there and live life to the fullest, or whether I go out there and I continue speaking, whether one way or another I could drop, it doesn't matter which path I pick. So I just carried on with that. And yeah, just kept rocking with that, literally.
Wow.
But that was one of the biggest things.
So you have an so basically you've realised that you have an adverse reaction to kind of those painkiller type.
Basically. There's a family type. It's a long name.
Okay.
Basically, I can't have those tablets. I can't be around those tablets. And you know the ironic thing, I had never ever taken tablets growing up until the first time in Miami.
Wow.
That was the funniest thing.
Really? So for pain and stuff, normally
Pain,
you would kind of manage it.
I've got a very high pain threshold, so I'd naturally just get over it. Or my nan's Caribbean.
Sound like you, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like that. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was one of the biggest things. Other knockbacks, like just trying to get into events, but them not really getting back to you, or them not really interested in you coming down.
Wow.
That was definitely tough. That was tough.
Do you find, is that easier now, or do you feel that you're still having to navigate
battle.
like that kind of waiting for people to call back or to negotiate? Do you still find that's the case now?
I think it's depending on the level. So the level I'm at now, there's another level that I want to get to. So getting to so the level that I was struggling at before, I don't struggle now. Now the next level, not that
What's the difference between those levels? Would you say? How would you describe the level that you're at?
So I think more where I want to go to is obviously getting into like those corporate institutions. To sort of really hit home, like really get the message out there, and link it to like finance and business and things like that.
Like E. Thomas and like
yeah.
Hip hop preacher and them and
Okay.
Les Brown and those brothers.
Stuff, all of that stuff. That's really where I want to get to next. So for me, the
strong paid gigs. Those corporate
basically.
that big.
Yeah,
When you look at
he's right.
this is the truth though.
He's right.
Them man get paid, you know.
Yeah,
those guys. Sorry.
I remember,
So it's about the money,
No, it's not.
It's not.
But it's an element of it. And motivational speaking,
everyone wants to.
Free.
Yeah, I want to do it full time. That would be the goal. Do you know what I mean? To do it full time. So money plays a part in that. My bills. Unfortunately, I can't call my bills and say, "Yo, this month nothing was coming through." So I just had to keep rocking with it, basically.
Cool.
Wow.
So, we need to make money because love doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah, facts.
So, I know, obviously, the speaking thing, because obviously Anthony Robbins, Lisa Nichols, Eric Thomas, all the Les Brown, all these prominent speakers are often stateside.
Yeah.
I know public speaking and motivational speaking is massive in the States.
Yeah.
Canada, really big. Do you feel there's a difference between the States and here in the UK?
Yeah.
In terms...
I think the only difference is that it's just the way people get pushed in America. Like Americans, they what's the word? They literally believe in everyone. Like Eric Thomas, you'll see Eric Thomas on some of the weirdest profiles. Like some people, you'll be like, oh, I didn't even know that person would even be listening to Eric Thomas. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's just more the push rather than anything else. And also the people who are actually out there being consistent. Because in the UK, we have a habit of starting something and not
finishing,
following through. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I think consistency is a different thing as well. And I feel like you have to have some sort of like swag about you. I feel like there has to be something about you for people to warm to you.
Is it as a UK context, looking at it from a UK?
You just have to have something a little bit different, something that you're not trying to be American, you're just trying to be yourself, but you're yourself in this own unique way that people love, that they haven't seen and they gravitate towards. And also your message has to be pure. Because if it's not, people just don't care. You could have amazing things to say, but if it's not pure, no one cares.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And I think in terms of the whole motivational talking, do you feel, I mean, it might sound like a bit of a mad question to ask, but I'll ask anyway. But do you believe, is there traction in being a motivational speaker? Is this something that one can say, that's my career? So when people ask what you do, how do you make your money?
Yeah.
I'm a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Is there traction in that? Is there future in that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think the future comes from events, doing your own thing.
Yeah.
You see Tony Robbins sells out O2, he can sell at the O2 Arena for 3 days in a row if you wanted to. I think there is traction, definitely. You have to believe in your traction. Like you have to believe in your message, you have to believe in, and you have to be very smart. Like you have to really piece your product together to be able to for it to pay you like the Eric Thomases and the Les Browns and people like that. But definitely, I think so.
And like you said, I think a lot of it, for me, for that consistency, is often in the corporate, where you're doing a lot of I mean, there's a difference between obviously motivational speaking and then there are people that secure speaking gigs, which they could be on par of the same spectrum, but I think they're slightly different. And obviously, as we know, you've got your own up and coming conference as well. There's stuff that's coming up as well. So do you want to tell us a little bit more about the conference, what to expect, who's there, what can people kind of expect from the
Cool. Firstly, I'm going to have 2 tickets for you both if you're there August 17th, definitely,
Cool, thank you. You heard that first.
Yay.
Yeah, it's on camera, everything.
We're holding to account for that.
Yeah, no, 100%. So it's called Your Time Is Now. Your Time Is Now, the first version of it happened in January. So it was my 30th birthday party. So for my 30th, that's what I wanted to do. So I done a conference. Cool. It was meant to be for 30 people, but that list blew in 2 hours. So we had to open it up to a couple more. So Your Time Is Now. It's basically me, like I was saying this morning, speaking directly to you as an individual. So even though you're in a room full of 30 people or 100 people, I'm talking to you directly. It's me and you in the room. It's not me, you, and everyone else. It's just me and you. So I wanted everyone to get that feeling, to understand that when I'm talking about you, I'm talking about you, and it's just me and you having this conversation. Talking about time being now, I think a lot of us take time for granted, and I used to do that. I think the thing we've taken, when it comes to...
He's got a call.
Sorry.
Cool.
Shut up. When you, a lot of us take time for granted. So because of that, I wanted to just let people know that there's no point in waiting for tomorrow. There's no point in saying, do you know what, tomorrow I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. Like, no, let's rock with it now. Let's move now. Let's understand that the time that you're living in is now. So let's rock on with getting things done now. And it's just a matter of taking people to the next level. So people who want to really get to the next level in what it is they do and take their craft seriously or whatever it is they want to achieve, I want to help develop and bring people to that level. So we've got a lady named Karen Allen, we've got a gentleman named Ramel Wade, and we've obviously got Mr. Free Your Mind who come back again. Yeah,
and obviously, I like that idea because this sense of your time is now speaks to whatever period that people are at. It could be your time is now to just get started. It could be your time, could be now as you're starting, but you just want to hit the next level 100%. Or whatever that is. So I like the kind of theme around that, And we mentioned some of your awards and stuff, so we know we've kind of been thinking about the journey and the obstacles and stuff. What's been the pluses? What's been the super highs from the journey?
I got to speak in Jamaica.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he usually does his getaways, isn't it? Yeah, when he does his ministry and stuff.
So that was big. That was probably one of the biggest things.
How did you find that?
In the initial state.
Must have been hot, boy.
It was definitely hot. And I was speaking to adults, and at the time, this was 2016, so at the time I was still in my 20s, like 20s. So it was a big thing for me. It was a big thing. Was I nervous? Yes, because the weird thing was the conference was 3 days, and I didn't speak until the third day.
So
it was like the build up of all of that. Yeah, it was like, every single day I'm at this conference, I'm just feeling even more.
You're just waiting for your time, innit? Yeah.
Literally.
Like, I'm gonna be up here soon.
So I'm just like, cool. So I ended up getting that done. That was amazing. I had adults coming up to me at the end, which was really good, saying I inspired them and I helped them a lot. So that was good. 2 awards. One was presented to me at BAFTA. The BAFTA.
Okay.
That was sick. I knew
Is that Freddie Nawaka? Was that? Yeah.
I knew about BAFTA. I didn't know where it was. Or I just knew that there's this big face there.
Freddie Nawaka does the black.
Yeah. So
Milk Train that I've won awards in that previously.
So there was that. What else has been good? My first conference. That was good. That was. That was mind blowing. To get introduced and then to walk out and everyone's just going crazy.
It was
yeah. It was mad.
2 women frying bras and niggas.
Disclaimer: I didn't see no bras. I didn't see no bras.
Oh, stop it!
Don't lie. You saw them. It's alright. It's cool now. It's cool. We can talk about that off camera.
Oh damn!
But that was a big thing for me. What else? Doing obviously the videos. My videos getting out there and doing really well. That was a big thing for me. But I guess the most important thing was just realizing that in 2014 when I started, I said, yeah, man, I want to put on my own events. I want to put on my own conference. I can see it, I can feel it. And now 2019, we're talking about, I've done 2 in 1 year, and the one in August is the biggest one that I've ever done to date.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's brilliant stuff, man.
Yeah, could you speak? You've spoken about, I think in your bio, you said something about your getting more followers and stuff. Do you feel that the followers have an impact? The more followers you get have an impact more on the outcome of your show, because everyone's on this followers. Like you're not doing big if you ain't got a lot of followers.
So here's the thing. For me, my mentor taught me early. He said, "Don't worry about the followers. It's all about the engagement, because you can have 10,000 followers and 10 people engaging, and you can have 1,000 followers with 100 people engaging."
Yeah.
He said, "Don't worry about the followers. Focus on the engagement." And my engagement has been amazing. Ever since me and Samson started the project with the Monday videos, the engagement's gone up. So the engagement's been phenomenal, and then it transforms into ticket sales.
Yeah.
So when you put on an event, you can really find out if people listening to you, if tickets are being bought. Because some people with hundreds and thousands of followers, they can put in an event and no one cares, no one turns up. They just want to really see you online, the comedy presence that you're doing online. Whereas for me, it was all about how can we now transfer this into ticket sales, and we've managed to do that. Originally, when I first did the first one, I didn't think no one was coming. I can't lie.
So how did that make you feel?
What,
anxious?
When people,
yeah. The build up,
it's
leading up
so
to that.
nerve wracking. Even this one, it was even worse, because now it's like ain't no one buying no ticket to come and see me speak. But people have. Like someone spent. I remember when I saw a receipt. Someone spent like £48 for 4 tickets to come out. And for me, it was like, cool. People actually coming out to see these people. I have no idea who they are.
So do you have a lot of supporters? You know, like you said that you do pretty much everything yourself. So finding your gigs and your social media page, how do you find that?
So it's a lot of DMs. Samson again, so big him up again. I put a lot of pressure on him because I'm so specific with what I want, even down to my events. Like I said, cool, the venue's sorted now. This is what I want. Here you go. I just want to turn up, stay in my zone, not get distracted by a seat being broken, anything like that.
I know that, man.
So it's so me, Samson, we're just like hot on it, just basically reaching out to different people, just to try and push my stuff. A lot of people, the difference now, like what you talk about, the difference now between when I first started is that now people get in touch with me. Okay. So that's a very big thing as well. That helps a lot, and we just keep putting in the work behind the scenes. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, they take a photo and they're like, at a business meeting, or I'm doing this. I don't do none of that. You see exactly what I'm doing. When it comes. So cool. I really wanna just keep rocking on with that.
So if you could speak to if you could either speak to your younger self or someone else who is on this journey, they're starting on this journey, they said, you know what, I want to do this motivational talking thing. This is what I want to do. I want to motivate others. I want to go out and be a public speaker. What advice would you give them?
So no word of a lie. I'm actually going to tell you this live. So today, someone actually asked me that question. So I don't actually know who the person is. Okay. But the person asked me, wanted to know, how did you improve your public speaking? Okay. And the thing I told that person was, what I said to you guys, I go to a field and I literally talk to the flowers on any random subject. And then the other thing was, I talk and I study. So for me, it's, if you do want to do this, you have to study it. And when I say study it, I mean in terms of, like, study the Les Browns. Why was Les Brown so good in his time? Why is Tony Robbins so good at what he does? Why is Eric Thomas so good at what he does? Study that, and then literally study the dictionary. Like, I'll pick a word from the dictionary that I've never used before, and I'll try to drop it in my daily sentence. Like, I'll try and, do you know what I mean? I'll try and use it in a sentence in my day-to-day life and try and add to my wording. So I'd say that. And the other thing I say is, like, don't stop believing in what it is you feel. Because there's so many times when I'll just have, I might be on a train or I might be driving, I just have a random moment of, yo, this is going to be big, like, I can feel it. Do you know what I mean? So it's just believing in that and knowing that when that moment comes, it's just to remind you that you're on this path for a specific reason. So just keep pushing. Cool.
And we always ask this because we're coming to the end of our time, and we always tell me about it. It's just gone quick, man. we often ask if there's anyone that could sit right where you are, sit with you, because that's how we come to know you was through Prince. Actually, from Mr. Free Your Mind, it was just like, look, you need to get Sam Speaks down there. You need to get him on. Yeah. Who would be your person to sit right where you are to be able to kind of unravel some of this stuff? Yeah.
So it would have been two people. Would have actually one been Samson, because Samson's actually a rapper.
Okay. Easy, Samson. So we might have to do that, you know. Samson's like, no, bro, no.
Samson Smiles and Maria, who I said in the email.
Yeah,
so
she's a singer, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a singer. She actually works with me, but I've just seen that her release like new songs, have her own struggles and stuff like that. Yeah. And I think it would be good for her as well to sort of like get herself out there a little bit more. Yeah. Especially with like the new music and stuff that she's dropped and videos and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely.
And it would be great, but I mean, because obviously I know you're doing your events and stuff, but one thing, as well as doing obviously the podcast, one thing that we definitely also do is we kind of review, we get out to other speaking events and we cover that as part of our content, as part of our reviews and a part of the culture. So definitely would love to have you back as part of that process, so at least to explore that a bit more and unpick that if you're cool, if you're up for that.
100%, anything you don't need.
Cool. Yeah, it's there, we got him. Hold it to account.
It's on camera,
but definitely, but we just want to say thank you for your time, bro. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. Yes. And you know, as we said, if you haven't already done so, subscribe. Yes, please. Right? Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and this has been Lounge Academics.
Peace.
Cool.